So tonight, this smoke session is a little different. Of course, we're freehanding it. And at the beginning, I would like to say like, share, and subscribe to my content. It's already to start. Before we go any further, again, like, share, subscribe. It's very important. It's very important. So, it's gonna be a blunt talk if I didn't light the blunt, right? And I like to say peace to peace to humanity. What's up? Just keeping it real these times. Got a lot going on in life. Everybody does. Who doesn't, right? When it comes down to it, the reality of things, you have a very powerful imagination. Excuse the background noise. My imagination ain't powerful enough. If you like manifest, I can't manifest peaceful mind and quiet space for nothing to save my life these days. But I'm working on it. But then again, maybe that's just the motion of life. And manifesting the perfect life and what you need, you gotta go through the struggle. Or matter of fact, you gotta go through the path. Nothing is ever just straightforward given. It's always work with a lesson learned. You gotta think your way through it. That's why this conscious is so great and vast. It expands. That's what the human mind is made for. That's the purpose of it. We find like in our existence, everything has its purpose. I don't look at it as divine, not anymore. It's just a purpose. That's it. It's just a stone is a stone because it's a stone. It's strong. It can be used to build things. Houses. It can be used to build more than just houses. It can be broken down. The molecules can be broken down. Different things can be, refabricated to build even greater things like houses, sediment, foundations. Some of it's medicinal. So you got that in mind. But when it comes down to it, we are the creators of dang near everything we have. Like, I remember somebody, it's like on my the trail, like I used to pray, and now I call it meditation, because I really just go inside myself and I communicate with myself in the universe, and I find out new things each time, like, because there's always new things under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. That shit's a complete lie, because every day is a new day. Yeah, it might seem like the same stuff, but it's always faced with new problems. And the more and more we tell ourselves there's nothing new under the sun, the more and more we cap ourselves, we become like surprised that something new happening. Oh my God, it just happened. No, nigga, that shit was gonna happen regardless. But it is something new, so you know what I mean? That's a good thing. It's like a trick on yourself. The biggest contradiction. Everybody wants to put, our goods and our bads on the table and weigh them out as angels and demons. So like doing good in life and you following a righteous path, it puts you in a set to where you got angels with you. And doing bad in life puts you on a corrupt path and sets you in a place to where you're on demon time. When all actuality, if we just existed, none of that would even make it wouldn't even hold weight, just to be real with y'all. Like, people are killing based off of this system. It's so much more. Just think of it like this. This is gonna hurt, but it's a sad truth. Everything you believe in is a story written by your great-great-great-grandparents just to entertain you and keep you captivated long enough to where you don't lose focus on life itself. Enjoying the simple things. Enjoying, being around people that you like being around. Enjoying yourself when you can't enjoy the rest of it. That's why they say self-care, in hopes that 3-something in the morning this resonates with somebody. Just dropping this is just my version of, high-level conversation, because I'm inspired by everybody. Right? I'm just as bad as the one you call God and the one you worship. I observe And I'm inspired in many different ways, you know, from the simplest things people do. A simple hello might change my day. A simple goodbye with an attitude, or, you know, people who drop F-bombs randomly in a bad mood and transfer their energy and push it on you. And you either deflect it back or deflect it another direction. And a lot of times that's what we all end up taking out, you know, extraterrestrial aggression onto other folks. Like you take out aggression that ain't even necessarily yours and you push it towards another entity. It's based off of, like, you know, us too and how strong we are. Some of us can just take it and bounce off. It's like we got the other cheek syndrome, the Jesus Christ syndrome, where, you know, you don't smack them back, you just turn the other cheek and, you know, bounce off. It's not necessarily turning the other cheek, but, you know, it's like words slide off of some people, and sometimes they can just take a hit and or either dodge it and just still de-escalate the situation. But that's what's needed. Like, people want to fight, you know, they got sports for that. We can just box, you know, but other than that, most of us, you know, I mean, not to mention, this is what I call the warrior's blood within us. You know, it's like an urge to fight. It's like an urge to want to test your abilities. It's like, since we came into like that level of intellect, it's like, how strong am I? You want to test it against your next man. Like, keep in mind, in one of these great books, it says Jacob wrestled with God. And all the holy folks and woke folks gonna take that to a whole nother level on me and be like, you quoting out the Bible? I mean, yeah, it's one of the major books that people read every day. People study it every day, you know, as if they cling on to it. I just don't. You know, I'm more of a self-aware of me sitting in, you know, a friend's house, bouncing my life back together, being honest with people. I'm a neo-soul artist. You know, I make music. I make instrumentals. Doing something like one right now. It's going a little dead, so, but, you know, it's always good while I do my blunt talk, you know. I just wanted to get on here and entertain the fans that I do have. To tell you a little something about me in this last few, you know, minutes of my live. Name's Joshua Fuller. I go by the artist name Josie Fuller. Grandpa gave me the name Josie. Fuller's my actual last name, so, you know, I just rock with it as if it's like some sort of, you know, family heirloom or something. You know, I rock with it. My mom left me when I was 2. A lot of people would say I have abandonment issues, but at the end of the day, the simulation is based on survival. Some blocks are stacked differently. Some players are just built differently. We cut from different cloths. This is my story. My dad was in and out of jail. I barely know the guy. Like, to this day, yeah, we have awkward conversations. My grandma, that's who raised me. That's the lady in 2004 for the past 4 years has actually been struggling with dementia, and my family has been doing their best holding it down. Shout out to the fam. I know they probably feel like, you know, I'm so distant, and I feel the same way, but I hope you guys know that I do love you dearly, very, very much. I think the world of you guys, and I'm praying that all of you are doing well, and I'm hoping that one day my music can pop and I can just, you know, bless y'all with gifts of abundance, you know, from my ventures and, you know, my overcoming, you know, because whether you know it or not, you with me in heart the whole step. So, you know, I wish that y'all would come to my shows a little more, bop up on me a little more, you know, get in the wheel to travel a little more and come see me where I'm at, you know, sometimes. But I understand we all have our lives. You know, I'm from Greenville, South Carolina. You know, I'm based out of. If you want to do work, hit me up. My Instagram is I am Josie Fuller. You know, it is Joshua Josie Fuller, or my fan page, Josie L. Fuller on YouTube. You know, no real criminal background, but I have somewhat of a criminal background, not to incriminate myself, you know, but everyone has that type of thing in the survival game. You either gonna smoke a little bit, sell a little bit, figure out your life, go get a job, and just live it right, you know. All said and done, no one can prove anything, not even me. So, with that being said, back to this original, you know, broadcast of Blunt Talk with Josie Fuller, very interesting character. So I know The return of the ancient ones. It's like we've been living in, you know, the Christ mindset for like the past few hundred years through like the slavery. It was beat into us. It was programmed like believe in Christ. Before that, you believed in your ancestors. You worshiped your ancestors. You followed the path of enlightenment through your ancestors and that knowledge and the writings on the wall and learning about life. You followed that. Trust me, we all did. We went on great pilgrimage, like different tribes all over the world, you know. Before the establishment of white, black, yellow, and brown and all of that, we were just culturally based by our area, you know, like they would call the Mongolians or Saxons, or, you know, the brown-skinned people, and the other brown-skinned people would call those people fair-skinned, or they would just call you by the tribe, the Temu tribe, the Dogon tribe, you know, a Mafu, or, you know, even when it gets into the European sects and those ones, those are still tribes, like, and when it comes down to it, I wanted to wake everybody up to this. This whole concept of religion follows two tracks. Should you choose to like pay attention to the facts of what's written on the wall, it's two stories technically, and both stories could be fabricated or thought of as like a modern day movie. It's like somebody wanted to be entertained, so they were very creative with the way they were able to convey and write down their script and everything. They were able to write down basically everything about a life, a day in a life, or a year in a life, or just a survival, give you epics, different stories, you want to say it. But these were all men with vivid imaginations. I just want you to think about that. And, you know, upon us happening to discover different drugs like marijuana and time, I'm pretty sure they've been smoking this for hundreds of thousands of years. Different shrooms, eating the cocaine plant and actually just becoming too high, different things, poppy seeds, you know, eating certain bugs gave people trips. You know, they would just go on what today we call psychedelic trips. And I'm pretty sure they would start writing down different languages or what language they wrote at the time. All started out with just hand paintings on walls in caves. And you know this is real because they're on walls and caves. You mean we're probably going to be looked at the same way, like hundreds of thousands of years from now, should we build something that monumental? Or maybe we'll still be clicking and they'll just be grave sites in memory. But, you know, in the meantime, like, you know, just going on my tangent with when I met, I was really getting into it. Like, we were put into a script, like, and this is mainly what I would like to say, like, the European Caucasian in America and the African, or you want to say indigenous black man of America, are put into the title would be basically equivalent to Jacob himself and Esau. You know what I'm saying? Or Esau in different, in I guess today's Bible, Esau and Jacob equivalent. You know, the Yaqub story, I dug into it. Like my cousin had me reading it and, you know, watching it, but, you know, to me, it just really didn't pop with what my soul was telling me. My soul was like fabricated bullshit, but it's all fabricated bullshit. But at the same time, you know, one story is like Adam and Eve, and the other story is a story that's so primitive and so logical that nobody wants to accept it. The evolutionary story that we evolved into this. We came into our enlightened stages through each phase of life, through like, you know, the primitive stage where you would technically call us a monkey, but we're not. We're just a being unfolding and blooming in life off of the seed of life, all coming from the seed of life, stemming to realization. And we came to like Homo erectus. Once we got to that point, things got real, because that's when Homo sapien came. And from Homo sapien, and Homo erectus actually created more than just Homo sapien. And everything from that point on actually bred in and populated the earth. And that's why you see things the way we are. But the stories we have been told are like, yo, this ain't how it is. This is how it is. No, this ain't how it is. This is how it is. No, the Anunnaki came in, and that's all the return of the ancient ones, of these ancient creation stories. When really it's just, you know, our ancestors going through the development of who they were, like coming into a realization, like each one broke language barriers and created different things, like different laws and decrees. Like as we became socially aware of each other, we started establishing things like, no, this is wrong. You can't just take that from a person because, you know, that's making that person sad, and no, and da-da-da-da. And people actually agreed upon this. Like, and that's how that got established. People were making graves when they realized people were actually just not waking back up. Like, it was a whole process to this, and then stories got told, spirit realms. It all started with dream realms, the spirit realms, and then it elevated to heaven and hell. And the whole concept of, like, you know, at first it was dark, and then someone said, let there be light. It's equivalent on both scales to a universe being born, but not just a universe, but a galaxy being born, and not just a galaxy, a star system being born, and not just a star system, but people within that star system being born on a planet or planets. Like, it's the whole thing, and not just, it doesn't just end there. The light coming on is an awareness. It's a, I'm here. And I can start building things like channeling canals, giving names to birds, ordering things. Some things you actually start creating when you become too aware of an enlightened state to where you know what DNA is. You know what is actually inside of things. That means through evolutionary tracks, most of us found our way. So stories like the Anunnaki and even the biblical story of Adam and Eve, you know, it's more like, you know, sit down, let me tell you a story. And it's not to be taken lightly. It's just something to be like a reference, to be like, yo, cherish life, cherish others around you. It's short. People drop for no reason. I mean, we can't explain it sometimes, so we make up stories to cope with it. That's how deep our imagination is. I know a lot of y'all are gonna come at me. I'm blunt. I'm a Scorpio. I was blessed to be born in that pantheon of the zodiac this lifetime. And when I say this lifetime, it's because I'm so far in it as well, with matrix talk and reincarnated talk and past lifetimes. 80s baby syndrome, that's what I call it, the God complex. You know, whether it's, you know, firm and factual, well, only time will tell that. And then nowadays people say time is an illusion. So thank you for taking the time to watch this, you know, the whole way through if you made it this far. And if you made it this far, please hit that subscribe button. Go check out my music. The Danger Zone be thunking. You know, I'm kind of like, at this point, 2024, February, document that towards the end of it. I'm kind of down on myself. So I need you. I need you to show me that it ain't all for nothing. Because people like me who don't really travel much, we don't even believe pyramids are real. We think it's all a movie. It's all on TV. It's all a lie. And this is just regular, whatever my life is going to go until I'm put in the dirt. That's how that is. Whether heaven or hell, we'll see when we get there. But in an enlightened state, well, I'm a celestial shaman. If you don't know what that means I'm technically the equivalent of a galaxy. At the center of galaxies are black holes, you know. Scientists have just now realized that these are observers. But it's not just that. What we are is so much energy into a focus point of existence and what it is, and the wondering of everything, that something miraculous happens. Spark, and life takes place. It's not abundant, but it's abundant. It happens. It's like you want to be real so bad that you create yourself. But it's a process, you know, so you got to think your way through it. Get what I'm saying? And at first thought, you know, things are chaotic and loud, and then it settles. You know, it's like, you know, all the thoughts in your head going off at one time and then coming to a focus point of what you actually want. It is manifestation. The proof is in the pudding. Soul above, soul below. That goes for the inner self too. Like, a few of us that left our record on this world were very, very enlightened. You dig? Thank them. Give honor to them. And the Most High Creator of all things is very, very much real. It's center point focus. We're all connected to that one thought. It just is what it is. Every galaxy that comes into existence has a God complex and a concept of creation, of who the creator is. You know, a kind of a attachment to a supreme thought that tells you that it's way bigger than whatever emotion you really sit and play. And you're not the only one that was wanting to know what it be like to be human or just exist, you know, to know love, to know pain, to know loss, you know, to get rich, lose it all, get rich again, you know, have a family, be born, whatever you in this for. I hope it's something good and nothing what we dub as bad in our existence. And this is the end of Blunt Talk with Josie Fuller. I was gonna sing for y'all, but this ain't the time. Catch me on my next live, man, and we'll see. Y'all gotta let me know. Drop some comments in the bottom and say sing Danger Zone. But first you gotta go back and quote me some lyrics from Danger Zone. Yeah, that's y'all goal. That's y'all homework right now. You watch this to the end, yo. It's to go down in that bottom and to randomly quote a lyric from my song Danger Zone. And your prize will be something random in time. But I do got you. Have a blessed one, man. Y'all stay up. Stay thinking on something amazing. And this was just to really just make you think. I know a lot of y'all are going to be like, you're an atheist. I don't really care what you think, just so you know. But I do want you to be a fan. So I'm whatever you want me to be as long as you like my music.